What is up, you beautiful people? It's your boy Ango, and we are doing a WWE Clash at the Castle 2024 live prediction show. We are live right here on YouTube as well as X at Ango PW. And I hope you guys are all doing well. Shout out to RM, Justin, Argo, Jana, already joining us in the chat. And yes, it is true. Today we are talking about Clash at the Castle, and I'm geeked for it. Now, obviously, it's a very interesting time period to discuss the predictions, and this is largely due to the fact that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches on the card. Now, obviously, we do have a SmackDown tonight, so maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe they add, maybe we'll see them add another match if possible. I don't know. I don't think so, but you never know. A lot of WWE talent did travel down to Glasgow, Scotland, which, by the way, I just kind of want to say this really quick. Shout out to WWE for the fact that they're doing these international PLEs. I genuinely feel like these international PLEs have been really great. But of course, who knows what's going to happen here? I have my predictions. There's 5 matches so far that we'll discuss. If anything changes on tonight's SmackDown, which obviously there is a delay between even time zone and the time zone over there. But what I will say, though, is if there's anything that changes or maybe new matches added, I will drop my predictions in Discord. So if you guys aren't a member of Discord, check out Discord. If you guys want to support the show, the best way to do that is by clicking like on this stream. If you're on X, you can retweet it, like it, whatever you want. And if you guys want to monetarily support the show, get your questions and comments answered. It's guaranteed. You drop a super chat, or you could become a member as well. I'm going to be working on the background and stuff. I actually just want to point this out. Somebody asked me in my video, they're like, hey, what's in the bin right there? I am building a physical video game and video movie collection. So I'm going to probably have to get some big shelves and stuff, and I'll light everything up and maybe get an LED sign or something. I don't know. We'll make it very fun, very cool. Get some WWE memorabilia. If you guys want to support the channel, that's pretty much what the money is going to. It's going to go towards the set. Which, by the way, we should shout out Smurf Lord for $5. He says, before we start, it's Glasgow. Is that how it's pronounced? Glasgow? I thought it was Glasgow. Okay, I have no idea how it's pronounced. Smurf Lord, I apologize. I feel like maybe it was you or maybe it was somebody else, but I do know at some point we were talking about the Lyon, France. I forgot how it was pronounced, but somebody was talking about, Triple H's pronouncing of these international PLEs. I apologize. I can't help it. I'm from America. I'm from Michigan. And I've never been to Scotland. And yeah, Smurf Lord, shout out to you for the correction. I appreciate the $5 super chat as well, kicking things off. So yeah, I see some people talking about an Ango LED sign. Definitely something that I want to do. A lot of potential ideas. You guys can send me your ideas in Discord if you guys would like. That definitely helps because we're trying to pimp out the office. And yeah. With that being said, though, I don't want to talk about anything else other than Clash at the Castle. And I'm super excited about this pay-per-view. Man, I'm super excited about this pay-per-view. I wish you guys knew how excited I am. But I get excited for 2 reasons. One, it's an international PLE, which if you guys saw the kickoff show today in Scotland, these fans are all so ready for the pay-per-view. And I like that. I appreciate that a lot because I think when you see them having fun, the energy is amazing. But I feel like WWE's booking has been so good and so consistent right now that B-level pay-per-views have become very exciting to watch. And that's just my opinion. Not everybody's going to agree. It's subjective, but ultimately that's just kind of how I feel about it. So that's why I do get excited when an international PLE comes around. We don't know the match order for the card, but we do know it was confirmed that Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest is taking place in the main event slot in Scotland. So we know Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre without the Judgment Day. We'll get to my prediction right there in just a little bit. But I want to say that this card features quite a few talent from Scotland. And I don't know if WWE is going to make everyone happy in regards to that. I'm just being completely honest. It's probably not the most easy predictable card. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's probably not the most predictable card as many of us think, because WWE from time to time likes to throw in some swerves. So I just kind of want to get that point out there. I don't know what match is going to kick things off, but I have an order in which I wrote them down. So we'll start off with Bayley and Piper Niven. Guys, I just want to say really quick, maybe I haven't been too fair in regards to Piper Niven, in the sense that maybe I should be throwing more respect on her name based on her work with Chelsea Green on the main roster. Obviously, Piper Niven, NXT UK, it was a wonderful thing to watch. And then obviously we saw Vince McMahon made her Dewdrop. That was just ridiculous. Now Dewdrop is obviously a thing in the past. Nobody cares about that. But Piper Niven in the past 2 weeks, I would say, I don't know if it's her confidence. I don't know if it's WWE just giving her more time. Even today on the pre-show kickoff show thing with Bayley, there's just a certain level of confidence where I feel like Piper Niven has just been really good. And this probably won't be the most popular decision from a perspective of the IWC, but I do think Piper Niven should actually beat Bayley. Look, I love Bayley. I really do. I think Bayley's excellent. And I think with Piper Niven, I'm seeing her confidence. I'm seeing her ability to talk. I sometimes I just get tired of long title reigns. I get it. Bayley won at WrestleMania, but it's June 14th. You know, it's not the longest reign, but it's not the shortest reign. I want to see more and more emerging faces in the women's division. And so if I was WWE, I really think you have to give it to Piper Niven here. You know, I think Piper Niven being a champion is great. I think, Chelsea Green is somebody who would flourish under Money in the Bank. So the idea of Chelsea Green being able to take it away from Piper Niven is really cool. Because again, we're starting to emerge with new faces winning the belt. I feel like for so long, it's kind of been the same people. I like this being the idea of Piper Niven surprising everyone in Scotland. And I like the idea that, Bayley is somebody who is great as a babyface, but I love Bayley as a heel. I do. And it's tough because right now she is incredibly over as a babyface. And look, WWE will probably give it to Bayley here. I really do think they'll give it to Bayley here. But if you want to shake things up a little bit, especially with your women's division, I would do it with Piper Niven getting the win here. I really would. And I think there's a lot of money in a potential storyline of Chelsea Green being her, side piece and literally getting Money in the Bank and cashing in on her. That's just my opinion. Now, look, I feel like WWE having Bayley versus Piper Niven is actually a great idea. Even if Bayley wins the match, I think Bayley beating Piper Niven still does a lot of good for Piper Niven as well. Let me make that pretty damn clear. But I think these two women, if you guys haven't watched Piper Niven wrestle in NXT UK, trust me, you give her a little bit of time and she's going to go out there and they're going to have a banger. WWE has to allow them the time. WWE can't restrict them too much. You got to let them go out there and do their thing. We know Bayley's capable of a good match, but maybe you're not too aware of what Piper Niven could do in the ring. I think this match will get a very good reaction from the crowd. The crowd loves Bayley. We saw that today, and we know that they're going to love Piper Niven because obviously she's from Scotland. This is going to be a fun match. This is my sleeper match of the night. I'm not saying it's going to be match of the night. I'm just saying it is my sleeper match of the night. And a lot of people are going to sleep on this match before it happens, and then they're going to watch it and be like, damn, I genuinely believe people will be shocked with what they see, which is always a good feeling in pro wrestling because some people don't even know, what can possibly go down. I did want to point out, somebody brought up, what about Nia Jax? And for shits and giggles, let's bring up Nia Jax. Nia Jax going to SummerSlam versus Piper Niven. I could see WWE trying to build it up as an exciting match. And then if you want Nia Jax to lose or win or whatever, I mean, you could do this whole thing of Chelsea Green winning Money in the Bank teasing the cash in on Piper Niven, and then instead of being a dick, she could be instead of being an asshole, she could actually cash in on Nia Jax too. I mean, look, there's a lot of ways to go around that, but I do see a triangle. I think there's some layers to a story that can happen. You got Nia Jax, obviously she won Queen of the Ring. If you have Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, I think you could do something like that. That's really dope. And look, I think there's nothing wrong with Bayley holding the belt until SummerSlam. There's nothing wrong with Bayley being cashed in on. There's nothing wrong with Bayley, somebody winning Money in the Bank like Tiffany Stratton, at Money in the Bank, winning it and cashing in on the same night on Bayley, right? Like there's a lot of things that you can do. But I am such a fan of Piper Niven. My only point that I'm trying to make is that I have nothing against Piper Niven winning in Scotland. I have nothing. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think if there was ever a time to shake things up a little bit and do something unexpected, I think a lot of people have the foregone conclusion that this match is probably going in Bayley's favor. I think because of that, it's so much easier to say, no. We're going to shock the world. I feel like sometimes WWE has become a little too predictable. It's not always a bad thing, and I say this a lot. But I do think the idea is that if you want to shake up things, do it in this match. Piper Niven, hell of a talent. Bayley, hell of a talent. Like I said, I think a lot of people are sleeping on how good this match could be. This should be the one to match, to watch out for. So, hey, listen, I'm going to put this out there just for fun. I think Piper Niven is going to win. I like the idea of shocking the world, and maybe she probably won't win, right? Zelina Vega didn't win in Backlash in Puerto Rico. She probably won't win here, but I'm going to say Piper Niven is winning, because if she wins, then I can say I was right. With that being said, I want to turn our attention to Sammy. I want to turn our attention. Gosh, I can't speak correctly. I want to turn our attention to Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be so good, because this is a great storyline. Now, obviously, no doubt that it's going to be a good match, because, well, we know that they are two really good wrestlers, and every time they're in the ring, they do really cool stuff. And yes, it's going to be amazing in that regard. But this match has so many layers to its storyline, and I've kind of been in this realm of where maybe WWE is going to hold off on this. Now, let me explain. What I am about to tell you, in my mind, I've been saying WWE won't do this just yet. They won't give it to Chad Gable just yet, because I think they are going to have Otis and Chad Gable officially split and stuff like that. And I just want to throw this out there. I can totally see that happening. But my pick for this match is actually simple. I think it is Chad Gable with the help of the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile. Let me explain. I think there's going to be a moment in time in this match where Chad Gable has Otis and the Academy try to help him win. They're going to reject. The ref is going to go down. The ref won't be paying attention. Something along the lines of this will happen, where either the Academy walks away from Chad Gable, or they turn on Chad Gable during the match. And when it looks like Chad Gable is about to lose, the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile save the day. Chad Gable should walk out of this pay-per-view or premium live event as champion. And I get it. It makes more sense to draw this out, right? Long-term stories. And I'm all for it. But I want WWE to do it all in this match. This is a storyline with tons of layers. Chad Gable could win the Intercontinental Championship with the help of the Creeds. The Creeds could become heel and go for the tag team title belts. In addition to that, Chad Gable's going to need an opponent for his IC title, and Otis would be a great opponent because there is that storyline. See, the thing is, what you guys need to understand is this. I am all for long-term storylines. And the easy, I'm not stupid. The easy thing to do here is, hey, Chad Gable loses, the Academy break up. Now there's a storyline between Chad Gable and Otis in the Academy. And then throughout weeks, you get the Creeds. And then after, eventually, at some point, Chad Gable wins the IC title. Not stupid. That is a very, 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 very easy way to go about this. That is probably the far more likely way of going about this. But the way I look at this is sometimes when you do long-term stories, you do get to a point where people get fed up. That is the truth. The Wyatt 6 QR codes, the longer it takes, the more people become impatient, the more that people start to tune out. At some point, you got to deliver people what they want. And my opinion is that in this particular situation, give them what they want. Especially if you're going to break everyone's hearts by not having the Scottish talent win tonight, or Saturday. That's how I'm looking at it. Now, me personally, I have no problem with Sami Zayn winning. That's probably the more realistic option. But I just think, personally, it would be a little bit better for the Creeds to help Chad Gable. Honestly, what I would do is, maybe the way I would book it, I have an idea. Let's talk. What if you have Chad Gable commanding the Academy to help him? They refuse. They don't do it. They finally snap. They turn on Chad Gable, right? And Chad Gable already gets this feeling ahead of time that this will happen. He has the Creed brothers take them out. Uses that as a distraction or whatever to beat Sami Zayn. Something like that. I don't know. That's just kind of the way I'm looking at it. I think the Creeds should show up at Clash at the Castle. I really do. Chad Gable's not an idiot. We saw on promo with on Monday with Otis and them, the way he's looking at them like, you're going to do this, right? Like he's getting like really stern with them in their face. You're going to be a great partner. You're going to do this, blah, 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 blah. You're going to take care of business, right? Like we saw this. So my opinion is, why not just have the Creeds already come out to handle the Alpha Academy issue? When Chad Gable looks at them and says, hey, take care of this, and Otis and them don't do it, Chad Gable whistles for the Creeds. The Creeds come in, take out Sami Zayn, and help Chad Gable. And then you could have the visual of the Academy standing on stage, disappointed in Chad Gable, who's finally won his championship, but this time he's on the shoulders of Brutus and Julius Creed. Ivy Nile, the Creed brothers, Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, Akira Tozawa, Maxine, everybody benefits from this. Everybody literally benefits from this. It's another great storyline. And then you could do a multi-man match with Sami Zayn and the Creeds. Yeah, Zach Pack says it best right here, by the way. I just want to throw this up here. That essentially knocks two birds with one stone storyline-wise and helps push it forward. It really does. So I'm just kind of throwing that out there. But yeah, more than likely what I'm telling you guys isn't going to happen. But that's what I would like to see happen. That is what I would prefer to see happen. And I do kind of also want to throw out there that Sami Zayn walking out with the IC title is definitely not a bad move in this particular situation. So with that being said, let's move on to the next match. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship triple threat match. It's Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Baszler, Zoe Stark, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn. This is one of those matches where I would actually... I think it's like really easy to predict that Bianca and Jade win. I don't think they ever drop those women tag titles, but it is a triple threat women's tag match. So I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea for somebody else to win, right? Like you could protect Jade and Bianca in this match technically, but yeah, this is just, I mean, I feel like this is probably the easiest match to predict. And to be quite honest with you, like, it's a match. It's a match, you know. I don't know what to expect here. I feel like the reason why I don't know what to expect here because I feel like with the WWE Women's Tag Team division, they have enough people to keep running the division even after Bianca and Jay drop the belt. So I guess the one way to look at this is it's actually like it's the easiest match to predict, but maybe this is the match out of all matches where they shock us. And hey, like I think you can do Look, let me think of how many women's tag teams there are in this division. You have Damage Control. Bailey and Naomi could be a tag team technically, but they're not. I'm just kind of throwing shit together. But that was probably not a good example. But you have Damage Control, Zoe Stark, Shayna. Then you obviously have Niven and Chelsea Green. So that's 4 right there. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. That's 5. You also have damn, I feel like I'm missing some. I feel like I'm missing some off the top of my head. But yeah, this is one of those matches where the champion doesn't have to be pinned to lose. So it couldn't be a bad thing if they drop the belts. I'm just saying. I think this is the easiest match to predict. I 1000% believe that the champs retain here. I don't know. I feel like at one point Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill will turn on each other. I think that's going to be saved for a WrestleMania. I think WWE can save that for a WrestleMania main event. The term I'm thinking of is aura. These women have it. Yeah. I don't think you should do a title change for the sake of doing a title change. You have to do a title change for the sake of like building a division or whatever. But I only thought of 5 women tag teams on the main roster, and I feel like I'm forgetting a few, but that's still not enough. So keep it on Bianca and Jade. Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. So there's something to also consider. There is some stuff going down, obviously, in NXT as well, but the women's tag team title belts don't really show up there. And yeah, so I said Candice, Indy. I feel like I'm still missing a few. So maybe you guys will. Alba Dawn and Fire. Yeah, I didn't even say them, and they're literally in the match. That's pathetic. But yeah, I think you guys get my point. The point that I'm making is there's really not enough tag teams. I thought maybe there was, but there really isn't. It is catching a little bit more momentum these days, but it's still just not there fully. So I will say that for WWE's sake, don't drop the belts here. Just it's easy, it's predictable. We know that Bianca and Jade are winning. What I would do, which is I'm going to say this, even though I'm talking about more women tag teams, I really don't like the tag team of Shayna and Zoe Stark. Shayna Baszler is incredible, and she should be like one of the top women stars for, a singles run. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they should split. This wouldn't be a bad idea to like start a new storyline from this match, right? Bianca and Jade win. Shayna Baszler splits from Zoe Stark. You could do something like that. That's kind of how I look at it. I don't know. Easy prediction though. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the WWE Championship I Quit match. Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. My goodness, I absolutely love this match. I love the build to this match. And what I'm about to tell you is not an original thought. I didn't fantasy book this at all. I read this on Twitter. Somebody wrote it. I can't even tell you who it was because I was literally just scrolling through. But somebody predicted or fantasy booked an idea of Cody Rhodes being the one to say, I quit, because the OC targets Cody Rhodes' mother. Basically, in the sense that Cody Rhodes had faced all this adversity and went through everything, finally won the big one, and to protect his mother, he was willing to throw it all away. And I seen this fantasy booking, and it does make a lot of sense from the perspective of layers and Cody winning it back, and Cody having even more of a attitude change to get his title back and to obviously get revenge for them taking out his mother. It was a very interesting fantasy booking thing, right? It was a very interesting scenario. I am not going to say no to that idea at all. Hot potato winning the title is not something I'm typically in favor for, but this could be one of those scenarios where could make sense because the story itself is so big and so good. And I would much rather see that than Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa, which was reported today. With that being said, Cody Rhodes is not losing this match. Cody losing makes 0 sense. It doesn't make sense. 100% it makes sense. A guy went through everything to get the belt, and then these guys take out his mother, and he's going to be forced to say, I quit, in order for them to stop. I mean, it makes sense. It's not illogical. It's not whether you would like it or hate it, but whether it makes sense or not, 100% it makes sense. I'm just saying I would never be opposed to that because there's layers to the story. With that being said, that was somebody else's fantasy booking. Why does his mom need to be involved? Phil, that's a good question. I'm glad. See, we're getting some good questions in the chat. Why does his mom need to be involved? AJ Styles and the OC are heel. If you're going based on that fantasy booking scenario, which again, let me just say, I didn't fantasy book that. That wasn't mine. But if the OC and AJ Styles are heel and you're trying to win a championship in an I Quit match, why wouldn't you go after Cody Rhodes' mom? Cody Rhodes already posted on social media. They already posted on social media that she's going to be there. So it's not illogical. I'm just putting that out there. It's not illogical. You know what I mean? Now, with that being said, the reason why I wouldn't personally do that fantasy booking is because I don't want Cody Rhodes to even face any more adversity. He's faced his adversity. Now he's a superhero. He's a champion. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's a superhero. He's the big baby face. He's the guy that runs the place. He's the face that runs the place. You know? But my point that I'm trying to make with that is Cody shouldn't be losing to AJ. Cody shouldn't be losing to Solo Sikoa. At this point, like, Cody shouldn't be losing to anybody other than the person that's going to take the belt off of him, which I still think it makes more sense for a heel Randy Orton to be that guy, not The Rock. That's just kind of my opinion on it. With that being said, though, I think Cody Rhodes having that fantasy booking situation play out, I think it could be really fun to watch in the sense that it's one of those things where Cody is forced to quit. Not because he wants to quit, but he's forced to quit. And I think it fits in with his character. He's like the John Cena, bro. Never quit, you know? Yeah, look, Cody Rhodes probably winning this match. Cody Rhodes should be winning this match. If they have AJ Styles win this match, I wouldn't be opposed to it if there's layers to the story, if they have plans. If you do the title change for the sake of doing the title change, it fucking sucks. And obviously, I don't want to see that happen. So what I want to see happen is WWE go and a little bit more of a creative route here. Cody Rhodes can beat AJ Styles. And what I would do, instead of WWE leaving Cody versus Solo Sikoa, I would have Cody Rhodes first off against Ango. That's what I would do. But yeah, Cody Rhodes is winning this match. I don't think there's really going to be a shocker here. I just wouldn't really be against the other option. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Everybody thinks that Drew McIntyre is going to get screwed by CM Punk, and I absolutely do not agree. And I think that's what makes it so fun. Everybody is geared towards this idea that CM Punk is going to ruin it for Drew McIntyre again. And guys, WWE is in a logical storytelling era, and Drew McIntyre is probably going to win the World Heavyweight Championship here. CM Punk will try to get involved here, but I do think Drew McIntyre, because he learned his lesson the first time, I think Drew McIntyre will truly be prepared for what is to come. Now, this is where fantasy booking get really wonky. My pick is that Drew McIntyre wins. Okay? Drew wins. CM Punk tries to screw Drew McIntyre, and 1000%, I fully believe this. Drew winning is the greatest thing that they can do here. First of all, expect him to come out to Broken Dreams. If he doesn't, that is a fucking disappointment. Secondly, Drew being prepared for CM Punk ahead of time makes a lot of sense. Okay? First and foremost, Judgment Day is banned from ringside. Everybody immediately thinks it's going to be CM Punk that cost him. Drew McIntyre's on social media. Drew McIntyre's talking about this type of stuff on promos. He's acknowledging his mistakes. He's acknowledging reality. My fantasy booking here, and my God, I don't know if people will like this, but Gallus, Drew McIntyre, it's a faction I've been talking about for a while. It's something that I want to see. It wouldn't be a bad idea for Drew to have somebody take care of the CM Punk problem ahead of time. And there's ways to do that. There is ways to do that. For example, while Drew McIntyre is facing off with Damian Priest in the match, you could have CM Punk being attacked backstage by 3 masked members. It could be Gallus, right? Like, you could do a whole bunch of stuff. You could do a ref bump. Like, there's multiple ways to do this. My pick is Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is winning this match. I understand the IWC doesn't like Gallus. I understand that the IWC hates fantasy booking. I understand. But the point of fantasy booking is to throw out different concepts and different ideas. All of these fantasy booking ideas should lead to one decision, and that is Drew winning. Not because Drew, is in Scotland, right? It actually has nothing to do with him being the home, just because he has home field advantage. He should be winning this match because that's the better route to go for the summer. That's the better route to go for the summer. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people talking about, Money in the Bank. A lot of people are bringing up Gunther. A lot of people are bringing up, when Seth Rollins returns. There's a lot of people bringing up Jey Uso. Like, Drew McIntyre ain't going to have the longest run. You guys just have to be willing to accept that. At least I don't think so. But Drew McIntyre versus Gunther would be a really nice match, obviously. Drew McIntyre versus Ilya Dragunov would be a really nice match, obviously. Braun Breaker is somebody who seems to be emerging in the ranks of Monday Night Raw. Him and Drew McIntyre could be a really nice match. There's a lot of great things that they could do here. A lot of great things. Also can't rule out Sheamus. I'm just saying, guys, there's so much that could be done here. So much. But none of it is beneficial to me if Drew McIntyre isn't champion. By the way, I have to give flowers where they are due. Damian Priest has been an excellent champion. His confidence, his promos, he's a good wrestler. It's just the way I see it. Darth Bane just dropped a great comment. Gunther should win at Bash in Berlin. Yeah. I would agree. And if you want, if you really want to do something in terms of Bash at Berlin, I think it's man. You could do Drew McIntyre. Fuck! This is where I hate WWE sometimes. You could always have Giovanni Vinci screw over Gunther, but no, he's on SmackDown now, so that doesn't work. I don't know. Drew McIntyre is winning, guys. I'm not going to give you some elaborate bullshit here. Drew McIntyre has to win. He's my prediction. CM Punk, if this match is the main event and CM Punk comes out and screws Drew McIntyre in Scotland, it makes CM Punk a heel. CM Punk is kind of a tweener. I don't know. But my point that I'm making is Drew McIntyre should just win the belt. Drew McIntyre's held it down during pandemic. He's done all these great things. He just re-signed with the company. He's part of major plans. I understand. But at the same time, too, it just makes a lot of sense for WWE to do the right thing and give it to Drew McIntyre. Damian Priest and Finn Balor, clearly they're teasing something with Finn Balor becoming the Demon again, which, by the way, like last year I reported that they had plans for that. They're obviously teasing it now on TV. We know for a long time they've been planting seeds about the Judgment Day's breakup. Judgment Day is banned from ringside. Well, Carlito's not part of Judgment Day. Technically, he could go out and help Damian Priest. There's a lot of things that they can do. But the bigger story is Finn Balor. Finn Balor is somebody else that should be winning the World Heavyweight Championship. I would much rather see Finn Balor cash in on Damian Priest. So maybe that's why I would have Damian Priest beat Drew McIntyre clean. I don't want to see Jey Uso with the Money in the Bank. I don't want to see anybody else. I'd rather have Finn Balor win Money in the Bank and cash in on Damian Priest and shock everybody. That's kind of what I would do. But yeah, I mean, if you're not going to go those routes of me when what I'm fantasy booking, just give the freaking title to Drew McIntyre. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. Either way, though, like here's the cool thing, guys. Don't get it twisted. We sit, we're live, we're talking, we're free balling different ideas. That's what makes this stuff fun. It can literally go down 100 different ways. It could really go down 100 different ways. So what makes that exciting is the fact that there's a lot of things that could be done. There was a super chat from Jana for $9.99. I apologize for getting to this late, but Jana says, I'm not opposed to singles for stars forming tags, having separate entrances, and no tag name. As long as the teams are booked well and have banger matches. Nia, Tiffy, Becky, Lyra, Bailey, Naomi, not opposed. This was in regards to the women's tag team division. This is also actually pretty damn true. You can do makeshift tag teams in WWE. You can. They happen in wrestling all the time. It's not a new original concept. So just keep that in mind. The way that I'm looking at it is if you're going to this route of not having tag teams that are like actual tag teams, you just got to put the right people together and people that aren't necessarily poised to be a single star. Like Nia and Tiffy make sense. The only issue that I have with that concept, the only issue I have with that idea is both of them are single stars. You know, maybe Tiffany, Stratton, like it's hard. It's hard with the women's tag team division. I wish there was a one size fits all solution, and there isn't, because I look at Kiana James on WWE Raw. Like Kiana James is somebody on Raw, like a little bit newer. Like it would have been cool to put her in a tag team. You know, that obviously they had Izzy Dame in NXT and stuff, and maybe not ready, but yeah. Definitely not opposed to it too, Jana. I agree. It's just there's certain issues that might come about, you know, when that happens. And yeah, I think the solution to the women's tag team division, honestly, in my opinion, is Bianca and Jay never drop them, retire them, and just please do these mid-card titles. These mid-card titles will be way better. And I'm not talking about U.S. Women's Championship or Intercontinental Women's Championship either. Let me just kind of point that out. You know what I'm saying? Just women's mid-card belts better than women's tag titles. That's my opinion. That's kind of how I look at it. Jana, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. You're the best. Phil says, I love to talk pro wrestling with you. We got such different takes, but I think it would be a good banter. If it would ever happen, I'd be honored. Sir, DM me on Twitter. I always tweet out. I'm like, yo, who wants to join me for a stream? Who wants to do this? No, hey, every time somebody hits me up, and trust me, I get a lot of people that ask me they want to work with me. My schedule or their schedule just don't align. So if we can make the schedules work, I don't have a subscriber requirement. I don't have a requirement for anybody to talk wrestling. If you guys want to talk wrestling, I'm down. That's what makes it fun. That's literally the point of like having different opinions. I think that's the problem with wrestling social media on the IWC is people are like, I seen that fantasy booking thing that I was talking about with like the Cody Rhodes thing. And I'm like, on Twitter, people were immediately shitting on it. And I'm like, but if you actually watch the TV show that they put out in front of you, it probably makes the most sense from a perspective of AJ Styles winning the match. It makes a lot of sense, you know, but no, we don't like this. Like, no, the point is to literally have conversation and go back and forth and stuff. So I love it. I love it personally. Phil, you can come on the channel. We'll have to figure out the schedule at some point. That's the only thing, but definitely not an issue. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of great things happening in pro wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Those were my predictions. Again, Piper Niven was the only one that I was like pretty 100% willing to stand on business with. We'll see how everything shakes up. I do want to let you guys know ahead of time. There is a very good chance that I will not be live for Clash at the Castle post show. I might have to do it delayed or something like that. I do have some other commitments on Saturday. But at some point this weekend, I will do like a little review show and we'll talk. So maybe Phil, if you want to be on there, you can message me and maybe we'll have you on there. We'll see how things play out as well. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Clash at the Castle should be a banger of a show. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you for joining me. Thank you all, and I'll see you soon.